Hi friends, this is Engineer Imran Aziz. Welcome to CivTech Simplified. We are presenting part 6 of our ongoing video series on urban transportation planning. These are 25 MCQs which have been designed to support civil engineers to prepare themselves for the competitive exams. And remember, the correct answers have been as usually highlighted so that you could review them effectively. Question number 126 dash is the dependent variable in regression analysis for trip generation. As we are still within transportation planning and we are discussing the transportation modeling, so these questions are relevant to the transportation modeling. Dash is the dependent variable in regression analysis for trip generation. Option A, households. Option B, car ownership. Option C, income. Option D, number of trip. So D is the correct answer. Number of trips is the dependent variable in regression analysis for trip generation. Question 127. Maximum how many trips generation models can be developed when there are two independent variables and one dependent variable? So maximum how many trip generation models can be developed when we have two independent variable and one dependent variable? Option A is 1, option B is 3, option C is 4, and option D is 2. So B here is the correct answer. We can develop three different models when we have two independent variables as and one dependent variable. 128. Regression analysis is true only when option A, each variable is truly independent. Option B, variables are continuous in nature. Option C, constant will remain constant in the equation for the future. Option D, all of the above. So regression analysis is true only when all these conditions are met. So all these options are true. Therefore, D here is the correct answer. Each variable should have true should have independent in nature. Variables are continuous in nature, and constant will remain constant. 129. Which one of the following limitations is not true for regression analysis for trip generation? Option A, regression analysis is a disaggregated approach. Option B, models are not stable from one area to another area and thus are unlikely to be stable over time in future. Option C, assumption of linear relationship. Option D, none of the above. So we have to select a false statement out of them. Option A is the correct answer, which is of course a false one. Regression analysis is a disaggregate approach. So A is the correct answer. 130. The category analysis for trip generation considers dash as the fundamental analysis unit. Option A, lead use, land use. Option B, household. Option C, accessibility. Option D, none of the above. The category analysis for trip generation considers household as the fundamental unit of analysis. B is the correct answer. 131. In category analysis, it is essential that number of trips, it is assumed that number of trips from a household is stable function of dash. Option A, household income. Option B, car ownership. Option C, family composition. Option D, none of the above. In category analysis, it is assumed that number of trips from household is a stable function of all these factors like household income, car ownership, and family composition. So D here is the correct answer, which is all of the above. 132. Higher value of multiplying constant in regression equation represents dash impact of independent variable on the dependent variable. Option A, bigger impact. Option B, smaller impact. Option C, can't decide from this statement. Higher value of multiplying constant in regression equation represents bigger impact of independent variable on the dependent variable. So A is the correct answer for this question. 133. Which one of the following is synthetic method of trip distribution analysis? Option A, Detroit method. Option B, Frater method. Option C, furnace method. Option D, Tanner method. Which one of the following is synthetic method for trip distribution analysis? So D is the correct answer, which is Tanner method. 134. Location factors are to be determined in which of the following methods? Option A, furnace method. Option D, Detroit method. Option C, average growth factor method. Option D, Frater method. So D here is the correct answer. Location factors are to be determined in the Frater method. 135. Which of the following method considers travel attributes for trip distribution analysis? Which of the following methods considers travel attributes for trip distribution analysis? Option A, uniform growth factor method. Option B, average growth factor method. Option C, Detroit growth factor method. So D is the correct answer, which is none of the above. 36. In gravity model, the value of socio-economic factor for areas having population less than 100,000 is assumed to be option A 1, option B 2, option C 3, option D none of the above. In gravity model, the value of socio-economic factor for areas having population less than 100,000 is 1. A is the correct answer. 137. In intervening opportunity model, the probability is determined by dash. Option A, size of destination. Option B, the order in which destination is encountered as trips proceed from the origin. Option C, both A and B. Option D, none of the above. So both A and B are the correct answer. The size of destination as well as the order in which destination is encountered as trips proceeds from the origin. 138. Dash is the process of separating person trips by the mode of travel. Option A, trip generation. Option B, trip distribution. Option C, model split. Option C, route assignment. So C is the correct answer. Model split is the process of separating person trip by the mode of travel. 139. Model split reflects or refers to the trips made by dash as opposed to dash. Model split refers to the trips made by dash as opposed to dash. Option A, private transport and public transport. Option B, public transport, paratransport. Option C, paratransport and private transport. Option D, none of the above. So A is the correct answer. The model split refers to the trips made by private transport as opposed to public transport. 140. Trip makers who do not have access to car are known as option A, captive rider. Option B, choice riders. Option C, commuters. Option D, travelers. Trip makers who do not have access to car are known as captive riders. A is the correct answer. 141. In trip and model, In trip and model split analysis, model split is carried out dash at trip generation stage. Option B, after trip generation but before trip destination. Option C, after trip destination. Option D, both A and B are possible. In trip and model split analysis, model split is carried out. Both A and B are possible. So D is the correct answer. 42. Trip interchange model split do not account for. Model split model do not account for option A, trip generation characteristics, option B, captive riders, option C, improvement in future transit service, option D, none of the above. So B is the correct answer. It's captive rider. 43. Which of the following model is not used for model split analysis? Option A, competing opportunity model, option B, probit model, option C, logit model, option D, none of the above. So, competing opportunity model is the correct answer. And this model is not used for model split analysis. 144. The estimation of what proportion of total forecasted trips between two zones shall use the available alternative routes is known as. The estimation of what proportion of total forecasted trips between two zones shall use the available alternative routes is known as option A, trip generation, option B, model split, option C, route assignment, option D, trip distribution. So, route assignment is the correct answer. This is known as route assignment. 45. The estimation of what proportion of total forecasted trip between two zones shall use available alternative routes. It's route assignment. 146. Route assignment is related to dash. Option A, assigning existing trip to existing transport network. Option B, assigning future trip to existing transport network. Option C, assigning future trips to future transport networks. Option D, all of the above. So D is the correct answer, which is all of the above. In route assignment is related to assigning existing trip to the existing transport, assigning future trips to the existing transport, and assigning future trips to the assigning transport. All these are the correct answers. 47. The basic factor that leads people to choose one route over another is option A, travel time, option B, travel cost, option C, level of service, option D, all of the above. So all these factors are considered while choosing any route. So travel time is considered, travel cost is considered, and level of service, of course, is also considered. So D is the correct answer. 148. Which of the following is not used for route assignment technique? Option A, intervening opportunity model. Option B, all or nothing model. Option C, diversion curve technique. Option D, multiple route assignment technique. So A, intervening opportunity model is the correct answer. This is not used for route assignment technique. 49. Dash is the simplest method for route assignment analysis. A, diversion curve method. Option B, all or nothing assignment. Option C, capacity restraint assignment technique, and multiple route assignment algorithms. So, all or nothing assignment model is the simplest model of route assignment analysis. B is the correct answer. 150. Which of the following method uses distance ratio as independent variable? Option A, all or nothing method. Option B, multiple route assignment method. Option C, capacity restraint method. Option D, diversion curve method. Which of the following method uses distance ratio as independent variable? A, all or nothing method. B, multiple route assignment method. Option C, capacity restraint method. Option D, diversion curve method. So D is the correct answer. It's diversion curve method. So thank you for watching. This was part 6 where we have completed so far 150 MCQs. I hope these would help civil engineers who are preparing for GAT, PE, and FE exams. Please subscribe to CivTech Simplified and follow us on Facebook, TikTok, as well as Instagram. Thank you for watching. These are the links where you can follow us.